Hello, everybody. How are you doing? It's another week. We're going to do some more drawing together. I don't know what it's like being at home for all of you, but sometimes for me, I find that I have a little trouble finding inspiration for drawing. And as an artist, when I have trouble finding inspiration, I draw a blank. Okay, how about we do some drawing together? Move on from the jokes. Now, we're going to do a you draw it, okay? And this is one of my favorite things to do with you all, which is where I draw something and then you draw something. So if I draw a line, you draw that line. And all of a sudden, we have a finished drawing in just a few minutes that we can enjoy and make our own. So today, let's just start with that. Grab a pencil, grab a pen, grab a stick, grab whatever you like, and we'll get started. All right, now the first thing you want to do for this one, very simple. It's going to be a C curve. Okay, remember those? And it's going to go like this. C curve. It's very shallow, isn't it? That C curve it's not a C curve like this. And it's not a C curve like that. It's a shallow C curve like that. All right. So C curve, shallow. Next step, just a little line right off of here that just bumps up like that. That's all you need. Just a little one like that. A little bumpy line. All right, now I'm going to close to that line, right where it ends, okay? I'm just gonna do another tiny little mark like this. That's it. See how small that is? Okay. Now, we're going to do another small line, boop, just like that. Tiny, the tiniest of sideways V's. That's all we've done. Alrighty, and now watch this big one. Here it comes. Another shallow C curve coming back this way. Shallow C curve. Okay. I wonder if anybody knows what we are drawing. I wonder if anybody has an idea what this could be. Looking at the chat, let's see. Thanks, Chris. Some people do like the jokes. All right. Hey, what up? Is that Paulo Rivera in my stream? Is that who I see there? All right, folks, here we go. Another shallow C curve. It's a long one. You ready? Down we go. Just like that. Okay. Wonder if anybody knows what this is. All right. Another shallow C curve. How many of these things are we going to draw? This one's going to go flipping back the other direction. Are you ready? Shallow C curve. Zip. So what we've basically done is like a Zorro Z. Zing, zing, zing. Okay? This way, that way, and that way. And there we have it. And now it's time to move on. So here we go. Watch this. I'm going to skip over this way a little ways, about here, and do another C curve heading up and out. That's it. That's all I'm doing. Alrighty. Are you ready for the next step? Here it comes. I'm going to draw a line from where this one started, and I'm going to carry it down a little ways like this. That's it. And now I'm going to draw a very shallow V shape like this. Long and long. That's it. And now watch this. Watch this big C curve. Are you ready? C curve and stop on that line. Any guesses here? Let's see. Someone laughing, somebody said. Yeah, hey, not bad. A seal. I wonder if it looked like a seal to anybody else. Okay. Let's keep on going. Now, watch carefully. I'm going to take the end of this line here, make it a little longer, and I'm going to draw another C curve, okay? And then a line back like this to touch that other C curve. All right. And then I'm going to draw 3 lines, very small, 1, 2, 3, like that. They're all equally spaced along the edge of that other C curve, okay? And now, here we go, up this way and up that way. And here comes a bumpy line. We're gonna go bump, bump, bump. And now above it, okay, watch right about here, bump, bump, bump. Maybe not quite as long as the other one. Not that it matters. And then I can just go straight up and over, straight up and over. And now connect here and here. Now it's probably becoming obvious what we've got going on here. It's Mickey Mouse, what does it say? Laughing at his phone diabolically. Alrighty. I see Twee is there. Yes, Twee, eating ice cream. You nailed it. Here's a little circle on top for that cherry, okay? And a stem just like that. That's all you need. Okay, let's keep on going then. We know what we're doing. We know what we've got here. Now, I'm going to continue by drawing a line that connects to this line that we did earlier. Watch this, all right? I'm just going to carry it down, stop about there. And then this is going to be a big C curve, okay? So before I get to the C curve, I want to give myself a place to stop and start. And that's going to make it a little easier for me. So I'm going to look here where the neck touches the shoulder, this little area here. And I'm going to pretend that I'm looking at a diagonal coming down this way. So I'm going to go through the arm, not draw anything, but just kind of move my pencil that way so I know where I'm going. And then come out the other side like this. And then C curve shallow, C curve shallow, okay? And then I'm going to take that same line and keep it going like that. And then come over about here and keep it going like that. And then just draw a line like that. Perfect. Now remember this line over here on the side. I'm going to keep it going with a little bit of a curve to it. All right. Come inside about the same distance as this one and keep it going just like that. And then there's that other line. Now we have somebody walking. Wasn't that easy? Want to give him some socks? You can do this. Don't have to. Doesn't matter. Totally up to you. Customize it however you like. All right. Now some details. Here comes an eye. Now watch what I do. C curve. Gives you the impression that that eye is closed. This person is just so happy. Ice cream. Now what about hair? Well, let me show you what I'm going to do. And you can do this if you want, or you can do it completely differently. Here we go. I am going to do a lot of nice squiggles, and I'm going to do them in a circular motion. And I'm going to start here and just squiggle around. See that? Squiggling, squiggling. Some are bigger, some are smaller. Sometimes I change direction. But I am just going to squiggle, squiggle, squiggle until I'm happy. Like that. And there is a nice squiggle of hair. Now, you don't have to do that, right? What's another choice? What's another option? Well, what if, instead of doing that, let's do some magic erasing here. Goodbye, vanishing. Pure magic. What if instead of that, I did this? Down, C curve, down, C curve, down, 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 right? And then I come around this way, like that. And I could just do those back and forth. And then maybe another one in the back. There's another hairstyle. You can do whatever you like, right? Let's reverse that. We'll go backwards in time. And then I'll do this. Straight, straight. Carry that around. And then come on down. Straight, straight. There's another one. You do whatever you like, right? No rules. No rules about how we do this. All right, let's get rid of that. And now we shall carry on because it's important that we do this. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's what was missing, that waffle cone detail. I love it. All right, now we have a happy walking ice cream eater. Let's put this person down on the ground so they're not walking in the air. All right, watch this. 1, 2, 3. That's all I have to do. Those 3 lines give us a sense that this person is walking on the ground. Maybe it's like a shadow or it's just some kind of a ground plane. Doesn't matter, but isn't that a cool trick? Alrighty. What else can you do to make this your own? Well, let's see. What if I did this? What if I made some lines like this and then just made a bow like that? That's something you could do. Maybe the person isn't wearing a dress at all. You could turn it into shorts, right? Turn it into long pants. Doesn't matter. Now you have the basic idea. There's tons of ways you can make this your own drawing. So that was You Draw It for today. Now we're going to just slide her over here and we're going to hide her for a second. All right. Because it is time for a Who Made That? You might remember this from last week. Last week we did a Who Made That and we talked about Monsieur Claude Monet. This week I'm going to show you the Who Drew That and we'll zoom in so you can see it. Here we go. And I need you to tell me who drew this, who made this, who painted this, what is the name of the artist? And if you don't know the name of the artist, give me some guesses about maybe what you think the painting is and have you seen it before? Is it something that you're familiar with? Let's see, I'm gonna look at the chat. All right, oh yeah, lots of good suggestions in here. Style makes you think of the Berenstain Bears. That's cool, I grew up reading those books. All right, let's see. Oh, holy cow, it's up there for 2 seconds and then already somebody gets it right. Shauna, Jenna, you got it. Danica, got it. Well, that wasn't too much of a challenge. Maybe I need to make these a little more difficult. But for those who know their art history, as soon as you see this gold color, this bright gold color with all this pattern work inside, you say, wait a second, I have seen this person before. And yes, this is the Austrian artist, Gustav Klimt. And here we have this gorgeous painting. And this is from the end, the very end of his gold period, where he did a lot of gold ornamentation in his paintings. Klimt lived from 1862 until 1918. And he did this portrait of a woman named Adele Bloch-Bauer. Pardon my very poor pronunciation for German there. I have no excuse. My wife is from Germany, you know. But this painting was stolen by the Nazis, if you can believe it. And it was then hung in a museum for almost 60 years. And then the Bloch-Bauer family finally was able to get it returned to them. And the same year that it was returned to them, they actually sold the painting. They didn't hold on to it. They sold it right away. And do you know how much they sold it for? Because it's going to be a pretty staggering number. $135 million for this single painting. So that tells you something about how much people liked the work of Gustav Klimt. So there you go. That's Who Made That for today. Hope that was educational for you, and we'll do a few more of those in the weeks to follow. Gustav Klimt, and what an amazing painting that is. It's sometimes known as the Lady in Gold, for those who usually don't go by the title of Adele, the subject of the painting. All right, now it's time for the doodle game. Now, sometimes here, what I'll do is I will take suggestions from the chat about an animal to draw doing an activity, but I introduced the doodle game in the first week of this series of shows, and I wanted to pick that up and do some more of that and look at your suggestions in the chat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some doodles. All right, I'm going to start with these little lines, And after I've made a few of them, I'll go from one to the next, and then I want you to tell me what you think they might be. So I'm going to number these so you can see them, all right? And there's number 2. And now for number 3, I'll do this, and I'll say that is number 3. So we have 3 doodles that we're looking at. We're going to start with doodle number 1. And I want you in the chat to tell me what you think this could be. And I can always rotate these. I can look at it like this. I can look at it like that. Okay. But from right to left, we are going to do the doodle game, starting with number 1. And here it is. So let's see. A baboon using Kyle's shrinking powder. A baboon. You got to keep these simple. Holy cow. How do you draw a baboon anyway? I'm trying to think what a baboon's face like. They have those long noses. Do you see a baboon in there? Let's see if I can see it. All right. I'm just going to go for it. You say a baboon using Kyle's shrinking powder. All right. Let's see how quickly I can get this one knocked out. I'm going to erase that number 1. And here's what I'm going to do. Bump, 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 bump. Like this. And then like that. Right? Don't baboons have these funny looking shapes like this for their faces, if I remember correctly? Or is that looking more like a tiger? Somebody help me out here. And what does a baboon's mouth look like? Is it like that? What kind of ears do baboons have? Are they up like this? I think I just made it into a tiger without even trying. All right, guess what? I'm changing it to a tiger, folks. Sometimes you just have to stay flexible in the doodle game. Make those stripes a little thicker, and suddenly, look at what happens. This is the beauty of improvisation. I love it. There. Now, if somebody in the chat can help me out with how a baboon looks, that'd be great to know. But in the meantime, I'll just go ahead and do this. Give this little tiger a body, because that's cute. And it's fun to do a big head on a tiny body. One of my favorite things in drawing. Boom, 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 S-curve for that tail. Throw some stripes on there. And voila, we have a baboon turned into a tiger through magic. I'm just making this up as I go. And now we have to move on to doodle number 2. So for doodle number 2, I want you to look at it, and I'm going to erase the number 2, so that's not distracting you. Now look at the shape there, and while you do that, I'm going to use that magic shrinking powder. Okay, I've got some in my back pocket today, and just sprinkle it on there, and make our tiger shrink down over here so we have plenty of room to draw. I'm also going to move number 3 off to the left a little bit, so we got plenty of space. So let's study number 2, and I will now look for your suggestions in the chat. A human. A human doing what? A human doing what? There's got to be more. Let's see. Chris said he was a shape-shifting baboon. Yes, you could just make up whatever you like. Honestly, I just couldn't figure out how to draw a baboon, at least not from my head. I have a pretty extensive library of images in my brain, but not enough to really be able to draw a baboon probably from scratch. Someone eating ice cream. Well, we already did that, didn't we? Didn't we? A man half squatting. Sideburns of a rocking musician. Well, I have to tell you, I like that very much, and I'm going to have to do it. Boom. Boom. Look at that. There's an ear. There's the sideburn. Boom. Pop that hair up like this and come back around here. Alrighty. Out we go. Out, out, out. Ah, he's singing. And let's pop that collar. Okay. Give him a tongue because it's funny. And I'm going to get his eyes closed like that. And his nose. And there's a line right there. So we know he's singing. Okay. And let's give him the microphone. One, da, 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 da. Look at that. There's our waffle cone again, right? But we're just using the same lines for the top of the mic. And there we have our singing rocker. Just like that. Let's get some teeth in there because it's even funnier when we do that. All about the comedy here, folks. Drawing can be very funny. Alrighty, great suggestion. I really like that. Wow, that was fast, said Chris. That's the point of this game. We go fast. We don't try and make anything perfect. We don't try and make anything great. We try and look at the doodle. And remember, the game is you take that doodle and you pass it along to your pal. We're going to move on to number 3 now. So as I'm getting number 3 moved over here to the center, we're going to slide this out of the way. Okay, so we've got 2 of them done. And I want you to be looking at number 3. And I want you to be thinking about what could that be. I'm going to slide it over here. And let's just take a look at it. I'm looking at it. I'm going to rotate the paper. Maybe we look at it. What about if it looks like that? Okay, different angle. What about like that? Another different angle. What about completely upside down? There's something else, right? I'm going to look at the chat and see some ideas for what this could be. All right, let's see. Kyle has the need for speed, Sam says. Yep. Well, this game is all about being fast. A confused crow looking at his baby. Confused crow. I can sort of see a beak shape there, I think. Yeah. A swimming shark. A swimming shark. Which way do you see the swimming shark? Let's see what else we have. A toucan. Wow, Mr. Rivera, we actually did a toucan last week for our draw along. Improv meets drawing meets dad jokes. Yeah, that's what this show is basically. A paper plane, an origami crane, Wow, that's kind of a cool one. Origami crane, I wonder if I could pull that off. Let me see now. If I rotate it this way, okay, and yes, I believe that is what I can do. So we'll do this. We go down, up, down. Trying to remember my origami folds from back in the day. We go up this way and that way. And let's see, then we have to come across and down, right? And then the other wing is hanging out back here. And then I believe we have our little folding, our folding lines are like this, right? To show that we've made some creases. This is really going in a different direction, folks. Not what I would have guessed for this, but always up for a challenge, is what I say. Yes, now, that does indeed look like an origami crane. Let me turn it around, we'll spin it around. And look at that, what an interesting thing. This is what I love about this game. What I never ever would have thought about drawing, probably ever, would be an origami crane. And yet, that is what resulted from us all doing this collaboratively. And I think these results are super fun. We had a shape-shifting baboon who magically transformed into a tiger, which had nothing to do with my inability to draw the baboon, I assure you. And then we had this amazing rock singer, and now an origami crane. What an interesting selection. You have to play this at home. You make a doodle, pass it to your friend. They have to come up with something to draw. They make a doodle, they pass it back to you, and back and forth you go, and it's a blast. Now I'm gonna hide these because it's time to close out with an art tip. Thank you, by the way, for that really fun doodle game. I'd like to do that again. Now for the art tip, I want to talk to you about something very simple, which is drawing eyes. We've talked about eyes before, but I want to show you something. Now here's an eye, okay? And this is a very simple cartoony kind of a shape for an eye, right? Or here's an eye, or here's an eye. We've talked about this before, okay? But here's a question. What happens when somebody turns their head sideways? What happens to the shape of that eye? Well, let me show you a little trick. When you're drawing somebody from the side, okay, let's just draw a little face here. Ba-doo, ba-doo, ba-doo. Here's a person. Now, what am I going to do about the shape of that eye? Well, let's just take one of these and draw it over there. Something about that doesn't look right. And you know what it is? The eye is still facing me directly. But eyes don't do that. Check out somebody in the room with you, okay? Or if you're by yourself, find a photo of anybody whose head is turned sideways. And what you'll find is that eyes go from this to this. Okay? So it's like a V shape with a little curve in it. What you're seeing is the side of the eyes, okay? Now, that's because our eyes are round, right? And the skin that's around them is covering them. And from the sides, you're not seeing the entire eye, you're only seeing half the eye, right? And so even if you're doing like a cartoony look, let's try a few. We could do this, or we could do this, right? Or we could do this, whoop. Okay, or even just that. But everything we're doing there is keeping it sideways. So think about that the next time you draw an eye from the side. And that wraps it up for today. I'm so glad you're able to hang out with me again. Thank you, everybody. I hope you had a good time drawing. We're going to do this again Thursday. We're going to do this again Friday, and then next week. So come on back. Let's keep on rolling with this. I had a great time. I hope you did too. See you next time.